Hello students, I am your biology lecturer. In the previous class we started the discussion about mitochondria. In that we discussed about structure of mitochondria. Okay, mitochondria is a plural. In the singular we can say the mitochondrion. Mitochondria are usually rod shape or cylindrical. Sometimes it is filamentous in shape. Okay, the structure which occurs inside the cytoplasm. The mitochondria is present inside cytoplasm. The mitochondria is usually known as a powerhouse of the cell. Okay, then the mitochondria was discovered by the scientist when the number of mitochondria depends on the physiological activity of the cell. Okay, the physiological activity is high, the number of mitochondria is high. The physiological activity is low for the cell, number of mitochondria is less. Okay, then the size of the mitochondria is usually 0.2 to 1 micrometer in diameter. Then the length of the mitochondria is around 1 to 4 micrometer. Then the mitochondria having the two membranes, outer and inner membrane. There is a space in between two membrane. I will write the points here. In between outer and inner membrane there is a space known as a perimitochondrial space. I will write here space, that is perimitochondrial space. Okay, then the outer membrane is continuous. It is a limiting membrane from the, or it is limiting boundary of the organelle. Then inner membrane is not so continuous, it have the so many infoldings. Those infolding to form a finger like projections, those finger like projections are known as a cristae. Okay, the cristae is a finger like projection, it increases the surface area of the mitochondria. Then the inner compartment of mitochondria is called as a matrix, means a fluid filled in the mitochondria is known as a matrix. Okay, the mitochondrial matrix having its own circular DNA and its own ribosome. Usually the mitochondria having the ribosome, that is a 70S type of ribosome. Okay, then the inner compartment or the matrix which having many enzymes. Here I wrote the one point, mitochondria is divided by the fission. Okay, then matrix having enzymes. Okay, then the cristae or inner membrane having pin-headed particles called as oxysomes. Remember this one, this is very important. Or F1, F0 particles. The inner membrane, it's consider this is the outer membrane, there is a infolding, okay, this is called a inner membrane. On that inner membrane you can see a small infoldings, very small infoldings, pin-headed particles. A pin-headed particles are present. It's like this. Okay, these are known as a oxysomes or F1 and F0 particles or elementary particles. Usually these particles, head of this particle or oxysome is known as a F1, then a stalk-like structure is known as a F0 particle. These are very necessary for the ATP formation of ATP. This F1 and F0 structure, that is oxysomes, are involved in the oxidative phosphorylation, that is in the synthesis of ATP. Just remember students, ATP means adenosine triphosphate. This is the energy form. Energy stored in the form of ATP. The synthesis of ATP occurs only inside the mitochondria. In case of eukaryotic cell, the energy is synthesized in the form of ATP. That's why the mitochondria is known as a powerhouse of the cell. Power antandre energy, energy antandra food. Energy ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ನಾಗ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತದ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯೂಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ, that is in the form of ATP. ATP formation occurs inside the mitochondria. Due to the formation of ATP inside the mitochondria is called as a powerhouse of the cell. Okay, remember this one. This is very important. These are the oxysome F1 and F0 particles, helps for the formation of ATP oxysomes. These are also called as Racker particles. Okay, then the special note for you students, the mitochondria which is present in mammals, the mitochondria present in mammals having 55S ribosome. This is the another type of ribosome which is present only in the human mitochondria or mammalian mitochondria. Usually ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಯೂಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ATS ಟೈಪ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದೇ ಯೂಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ ಒಳಗಡೆ 70S ಟೈಪ್ ರೈಬೋಸೋಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ there is a specialized exceptions, that is mitochondria which is present in mammals, it having the 55S type of ribosome. Okay, remember this one. I will write the subunits of 55S. Subunits, it is not so necessary, just understand 35S and 25S are the subunit of 55S type of ribosome. Next thing is function of mitochondria. Functions of mitochondria. I already told that the mitochondria is called as a powerhouse of the cell. We can discuss that point first. Mitochondria is known as powerhouse of the cell. Okay, because it produces cellular energy. It produces cellular energy in the form of ATP, That's why it is called as a powerhouse of the cell. Okay. Next point. The mitochondria is a site for aerobic respiration. Mitochondria is a site for aerobic respiration. Most of the oxidative metabolisms occurs inside the mitochondria. That's why we can say it is a site for aerobic respiration. Okay. Then it is a site for ETS, that is electron transport system. You will learn about aerobic respiration, ETS in the next chapters. Just understand the mitochondria is the site for aerobic respiration. Illi just artha madkori. Aerobic respiration is a type of respiration. ETS antandra there is a movement of electron for the synthesis of energy inside the body. Just remember these points. You will learn the processes in the next class. New physiology of plant olagade, you will learn about all these things. Just here, the mitochondria is a site for aerobic respiration. Then mitochondria is a site for ETS, that is electron transport system. Okay. Then oxidative phosphorylation occurs in mitochondria. Okay. Then next function, mitochondria helps for cytoplasmic inheritance. Involved in cytoplasmic inheritance. In these functions, the mitochondria is involved. The most important one is the powerhouse of the cell due to the formation of ATP. ATP is a cellular energy form. Okay. Then mitochondria is a site for aerobic respiration. Then it is a site for ETS, that is electron transport system. Mitochondria involves in the cytoplasmic inheritance. Cytoplasmic inheritance in the sense, you already know that the nucleus consists of DNA. Inheritance andre ಒಂದು ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಗೆ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗೋದು. ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ತರ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ. We are not similar to the dogs, cats, nothing. We are just similar to our ancestor. ನನ್ನ ಪೂರ್ವಜರು ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಇರ್ತದ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಜನ್ರೇಷನಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜನ್ರೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಅದೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದೇ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಜೊತೆಗೇ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾನು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಫ್ರಾಮ್ ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಲ್ genes, that is known as a cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay, usually the mitochondria is divided by fission. Okay, next after the mitochondria, next cell organelle we have to learn, that is the plastids. After completion of mitochondria, I already told that the structure of mitochondria with explanation and functions are very important for the 5 marks. Okay, next plastids. Next topic is plastids. The plastids are very small discoidal bodies found in the cytoplasm. Means the plastids are also present in the cytoplasm. These are only present in plant cell. These are easily absorbed under the microscope. Because they are large, they bear small specific pigment. Okay, I will write the points firstly. The plastids are small discoidal bodies found in cytoplasm. In the sense, the plastids are present in cytoplasm of plant cell. I already told that plastids are present only in the plant cell. They are completely absent in animal cell. Okay. Plastid bears some pigments. Plastids are having some pigments. So, they give specific color to the plants. The plants are very colorful due to the presence of plastids. Specific color to the plants. Okay. Based on the presence and absence, means usually the plastid bears some pigments. They give the specific color to the plants. Sometimes in some plastids, the pigments are absent. Okay, that's why we can write, based on the presence and absence of pigments, the plastids are divided into 3 types. Based on presence and absence of pigments, plastids are divided into 3 types. First one, chloroplasts, and second one, chromoplast, and third one, that is the leucoplast. Chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. These are the types of plastids. This is very important, students, for 2 marks. What are the types of plastid? Plastid is one of the cell organelle which is present in the cytoplasm of the plant cell only. The plastids bear some pigments. Based on the presence and absence of pigments, the plastids are divided into 3 types: chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Here the chloroplast means these are the types of plastids, contains chlorophyll and carotenoid pigment. Here I will write contain chlorophyll. This is one of the pigment, green color pigment, and carotenoid. Then this is responsible for receiving the sunlight energy, which is very essential for photosynthesis, is responsible for receiving sunlight energy which is essential for photosynthesis for the plant. Photosynthesis. Okay, means chloro in the sense color. Okay, chloro means green. Chloroplast is the type of plastid which having chlorophyll and carotenoid. Chlorophyll is a green color pigment. Okay, due to the presence of chloroplast, due to the presence of chlorophyll, it have the capacity to absorb the sunlight. Okay, that's why the chloroplast are the chloroplast is responsible for receiving the light energy which is essential for photosynthesis. Directly, the chloroplast is very necessary for the photosynthesis process. Okay, next thing. Next type of plastid, that is chromoplast. Chloroplast, chromoplast. Chromoplast. It is a one type of plastid which is having the pigments like keratin, xanthophyll and other pigments. Keratin, xanthophyll and other pigments like yellow, orange, red. Okay, here pigments contain keratin, xanthophyll and other pigments are present. Okay, this chromoplast gives yellow, orange and red color to the plant. Means the chlorophylls either absent or occurs in very less amount in the chromoplast also. Usually the chromoplast also occurs in the petals, but color of the petals is mainly due to the water soluble pigments. I can say that a red color for a chili and red color for tomato is due to the pigment of lycopene of the chromoplast. Means usually color for the fruits and color for the stem is due to the chromoplast. It gives a yellow, red, orange color to the different parts of the flower. Okay. Next, a third type of plastid, that is leucoplast. We already completed chloroplast, that is having chlorophyll and carotenoid responsible for photosynthesis. Chromoplast is a plastid having the keratin, xanthophyll and other pigments which is very necessary for giving the yellow, orange and red color to the different parts of the plant. Like that, next type of the plastid, that is leucoplast. Leucoplasts are colorless plastids. This is very necessary for storage of nutrients, necessary for store the nutrients. Okay. Again, the leucoplasts are divided into three types based on the storage food product. Again, leucoplast is divided into three types. Okay, those are amyloplast. This one is first. Second one is eleuroplast. Then third one eleuroplast. First one amyloplast, eleuroplast, leucoplast. Means the leucoplast is a colorless plastid, helps for the storage of nutrients. Based on the storage nutrient, the leucoplasts are divided into three types: amyloplast, ileoplast and aleuroplast. Okay. The amyloplast, which is very necessary for storage of carbohydrate, stores the carbohydrate, that is sugar. The sugar is stored inside the amyloplast, or we can say starch. Amyloplast is a type of leucoplast, or we can say amyloplast is a type of plastid which stores the nutrient, particularly starch or the carbohydrate. Okay, like that. Next thing, ileoplast stores the oil and fat. Stores oils and fats. Okay. Then aleuroplast, third type, it stores the nutrient in the form of protein. Aleuroplast stores the proteins. Okay. I will give the example, then you can easily remember these three types. Amyloplast, which stores the food which is in the form of carbohydrate or starch. Leucoplast are the colorless. The function of the leucoplast for storage of nutrients. Based on the storage product, the leucoplasts are divided into three types: amyloplast, ileoplast, aleuroplast. Amyloplast stores the carbohydrate. Okay, example, potato. Okay, then next one, ileoplast, which stores the food in the form of oils and fats. I can give the example, castor seeds. Okay. Then third one, aleuroplast. This is the type of leucoplast which stores the proteins. Example, pulses, kalagalu. Okay. Then this is the function of leucoplast. Generally, it is non-green because it does not have any pigments. We discussed just now, we discussed about the types of plastid. Once again I will recall this. Three types of plastids: chloroplast, chromoplast, leucoplast. Chloroplast means presence of the chlorophyll and carotenoid, function is photosynthesis. Chromoplast is the presence of keratin, xanthophyll and other pigments. It gives a different color to the different parts of the plant. Okay. Then leucoplast is a colorless plastid which stores a nutrient. Based on that storage nutrient, again leucoplast is divided into three types: amyloplast, ileoplast and aleuroplast. All the types of plastids are very common origin, having the very common origin. Okay. Then in the next class we will discuss about the structure of plastid and function of plastid. Okay. Usually a very familiar, very important plastid, that is chloroplast. In the next class we will discuss about chloroplast structure with details and function of the chloroplast. Usually the chloroplast means it is a green color pigment plastid. In the first thing we discussed that chloroplast is a one type of the plastid which having the chlorophyll and carotenoid. Okay. We have to discuss, we have to study more about the chloroplast particularly. Okay. In the next class I will explain the structure of chloroplast with explanation, and with a diagram I will explain the structure, and functions I will explain in next class. Okay. Please watch the videos regularly, don't skip any videos, please write down the notes. We will continue in the next class.